Well, we are hoping for good news, of course, but always prepared for not good news. And as this dispute drags on, we're going to be watching it closely. The superintendent will be making a decision regarding whether or not schools are open Tuesday. And he'll make that decision as late as early Monday evening. We hope to have clarity before then. So we're asking parents to keep an eye on our website at www.vsb.bc.ca, and I'm sure they'll hear through the news media. If we get news of an agreement or tentative agreement and assurance that the pickets won't be there, we expect schools to open on Tuesday morning. Usually it's a 1 hour day for most students. In the case that there are still pickets up, that we are asking parents to be aware that that is definitely still a strong possibility and to make alternative arrangements. We will have minimal staff on site, so if students do arrive and there are pickets, we will be contacting parents and asking them to pick up kids who require supervision and hoping to get this resolved as soon as we can.
What impact is this having on the international students?
We have international students. We have almost 1,500 students registered for this year who have mostly arrived. They have done some orientation, but they're in the same position really as our local students. They're all waiting and seeing. We hope to have them in class next week with everybody else, but again, all of this is depending on what happens in the negotiations.
At what point do you start looking at refunds for the international students?
The agreements that we have there is a reference to whether or not there can be refunds. There technically aren't refunds in the case of a labor dispute. However, if this were to drag on and they weren't getting what they had paid for, we'd certainly have to have a look at that as a board. But legally and in the contract that we have, we're not required to refund. But clearly, if they're not getting the school year or there's any risk to them getting credit for a school year, the board would have to have that discussion. We're not at that point yet.